Howdy y'all, Handy Redneck here. It's the 13th of June 2019. It's about 4:30 in the afternoon and it's about 72 degrees Fahrenheit out. It's been a little while since I've been on here. I've been taking care of some other things, but I figure if nothing else, we need to get on here and give a quick update. In the screen right now you see these 4 pots, a 5-gallon and three roughly 3-gallon buckets. Those are all Moringa oleifera, started from seed. Some of you may recall the video where we started those from seed. Up here we got some stuff that we're trying to get going. You know, we got some quinoa up here, 2 different types of tomatoes. In the back there we got some 1,000-leaf kale, or 1,000-head kale, that we're hopefully going to get something out of. Then we got a mess of hot peppers here that we got started. This one is orange Scotch bonnet, and then we got red Scotch bonnet, yellow Scotch bonnet, and we got a couple of these here called Gorpion. The Gorpions are hybrid ghost pepper scorpion, Trinidad scorpions. So we got a couple of those running around here. We still got some marigolds we got to get out and planted, and hopefully they'll do something. Our strawberry spinach is doing pretty good in a couple places. Our thyme and marjoram. The marjoram isn't as prolific as the thyme, but it is still here and it's still growing, and it still smells good, so we'll see how that goes. Our avocado tree is pushing 9 feet tall. As you can see, it's quite leafy now, so it's come out of its winter slumber quite nicely. We got all sorts of vines from the kiwi berry going through everything that we need to trim back and work on. The grape that we started from seed is small but strong. Here we got 2 of the heirloom tomatoes that we started from seed. As you can tell, they're from the bucket up. They're a good 3.5 feet tall, and some of them just ain't doing worth piddly squat. The pepper that we bell pepper that we topped and pruned, as you can see, it's up. It's blooming. It's doing real good. Then we got our 2 mangoes that we started from seed. They're actually adding on more growth now that they've settled into their 5-gallon buckets all right. They're doing good. Our mama aloe vera plant is getting big. She's about, I'd say her biggest leaf is a good 18 inches long. She ain't pupped out yet though. Over here, this forest jungle, as you can see, we've got more kiwi berry vines going through here. We need to get in here and cut the parsley back so the other stuff can have a good go at it. I'll probably do that tonight. I've been playing in dirt most of the day, potting stuff up, and I'll show you some of that here in a minute. But we do have 1 bloom on this chamomile so far, so it's doing good. The oldest moringa is leafed out and sprouted back out. It's doing pretty good. I think I'm going to move its pot down to the ground out by some of the gardens so it can get better sun and hopefully get bigger. We potted up back here. Let's see if I can get you back there and have a look. Back here in these pots are the kiwi vines we started. Out of the 16 or so that we started, 2 of them took root and they're doing good. Those are off the big kiwi vine. We've got 2 different kiwi vines. One is female, one is male. I'll do clippings off the male later this year so we get more of them going about. Now, something you ain't seen in a while are my lemon trees. They were on a shelf over here, and the kiwi kind of obscured them, so most of them, you know, I started them from seed last year, last fall actually, and there's some of them. The big one up here is we put it in a 3-gallon pot, and it as you can see is well over 2 feet tall. So that's going to be our main lemon tree, I think, and then we'll get these others. Hopefully they'll come along. We got our carrots that we planted for seed. They're doing all right. Then we got our dandelions here. Again, started from seed. I'm gonna see about building a flower bed to put all these dandelions in so they can overwinter and everything. Then we'll come out here. We did lose our lavender that we had coming up along the house here. We still got our big clumps of lemon balm, but our lavender there didn't make it. We got some Thai basil that's coming up doing pretty good. Next to it we got some sweet mint, and then over a little further we got some rosemary. So hopefully we can get those well established this year and going on. This one garden over here I'm calling a bust. It ain't doing crap except decomposing. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to end up picking it up and moving it to a different location where it gets a lot more sun, and hopefully that'll fix whatever's ailing this. The first and second potato towers have had all the purple potatoes pulled out of them. Out of these 2 towers we got 12 purple potatoes. The potatoes you see in here now are white potatoes that were starting to sprout out in the house, so I decided to just bring them out and let them grow. We got some marigolds growing up. There's 1 bucket of cucumbers. I've added a couple more seeds to it so it can continue on later into the year. As you know, we got them out a little bit early. They got a little chilled and really slowed down. But potato towers 3 and 4 here are just loaded with purple potato vines, and I'm hoping we'll get us a nice big harvest out of that. Our pole beans, as you can see here, are starting to come up the cage quite nicely. And then we got the second bucket of cucumber down here. It's got nice big green leaves on it, and if you look careful you can see some baby cucumbers I don't know if they'll develop into anything or not, hopefully. I love cucumbers. Over here, our Big Mac pumpkins are starting to vine out quite nicely. So hopefully we'll get something out of them too. Here we are with our purple Molokai sweet potatoes. They're doing all right. They've easily doubled or tripled in size since we planted them. Hopefully they'll do more than that. Our tomato and onion bed. The biggest tomatoes on here are a good 3 feet tall, and they're not doing too bad. Now down here next to it, you'll see a row of 7 buckets. Each of those buckets have in them 2 or 3 pieces of ginger or turmeric, which I started with 1 piece of ginger 2 years ago and 2 pieces of turmeric, and now I got these 7 buckets of mother crowns that are actually starting to come up. I just transplanted all these from half-gallon buckets into 3-gallon buckets, so they have plenty of room. Here's our loofah gourds. As you can see, they're good 4.5 to even in some cases maybe 5 foot tall. That's not producing yet, but we still got plenty of time. It's looking healthy, so we'll see. The tomato I started from a cutting. It just got planted into a 3-gallon container. You see that probably 6 to 8 inches above the ground there? Well, all the way down to the bottom of that bucket is stem and roots that we buried. Over here is one of our buckets of yellow squash. I don't know if you can see them on there or not, but there's some babies on it too. Hopefully we'll get some good squash out of that. Now I just threw in some of this timberline potting soil into this bed to fill in a little bit of the spot over here and to adjust the type of soil that was in here. And then I threw in some purple carrots, so hopefully we'll get some purple carrots later in the year out of those. 2 of the 3 atomic grape tomatoes survived, and one of them starting to take off. Behind that is the butternut squash. As you can see, we got more marigolds throughout here. They're doing pretty good. Something's eating a couple of them's leaves a little bit, but I ain't too worried because they're holding off pretty good. We got another bucket of squash here, and as you can see, it's got babies on it too. Then over here is our corn and beans. We got corn stalks almost knee high, and it's only June 13th, so hopefully we'll get some good corn out of it, at least enough to double or triple our planting next year. Because these gardens that I'm growing, a lot of what I'm growing this year is for seed stock for next year. Like the purple potatoes and purple molokais and the giant Mongolian sunflowers. You know, these things are a good 3 feet tall now. They're all being grown for primarily for seed stock for next year. So here's our apple tree. As you can see, we got apples on it. This is the first year it's had apples, so That's good. Here's our kiwi berry vine. It's huge. Some of its vines come out good 10 feet from the main trellis up on the porch here. We get up under here, there's no berries anymore. You know, the blooms are all gone. Again, it's a male and female variety. Our sweet sugar snap peas, I need to get out here and get picked. But you know, there they are. It's loaded with them. They're tasty good. You know, we got some wild poke salad growing. We got some mustard greens here going to seed. Got some wild, dill that went wild. This one got hit with the mower, but we got more up here with the sweet peas, so we'll have some dill this year, fresh. That's about all I can think of right now. So, it's been a handy redneck. I'll talk with y'all later.